Greetings, this is Sarfraz Niazi coming to you with a very brief update on COVID 19. Today, in social media and the information, the way it's flowing, I don't think you need anyone to tell you what is going on. But at the same time, because there's so much news going out there, often there's a need to look at it from a very different perspective as to what is the reality. There are more than 130 vaccines under development. Several have they made it to phase one, phase two. A few are in phase three, very small number. And two have been approved, one in Russia and one in China. I had the chance to review as much as I could find the information about the safety of these vaccines, and I was not able to find any data that will support safety. Keep in mind, okay, it takes 4 to 5 years minimum to develop a vaccine, because unlike a drug, okay, which is only given to a patient, vaccine is given to public at large. A COVID vaccine will be given to billions of people, not just thousands or hundred thousands, which is the case with any drug. So after approval, if a drug is found to have side effects, and it happens all the time, the damage is relatively limited. What happens in the case of vaccine is that we are manipulating the immune system, and it can wreak havoc on our body. As you know, a lot of our diseases are based on our immune system, from diabetes to multiple sclerosis to Alzheimer's, and you name it. So it is not easy to establish safety. Efficacy is easy to establish, and that's what many companies are making a mistake. Okay, they're looking at the efficacy but not the safety. There's no safety data on any of the two approved vaccines. Neither is any data, at least made public, for the ones that developed in US, even though by allowing it to go to a phase three, I'm confident that FDA had reviewed sufficient data. But keep in mind, there is no data that can be called sufficient. So I think we are, if we do it right, okay, and if we don't get swayed by politics, okay, it's going to take a while for the vaccines to come. Definitely, I don't see anything coming this year if it is done right. So the reason I'm giving you this update is there is another wave of unproven treatments, from herbals to others, that are being coming out from the mouths of people who have some credibility. And I go through extensive analysis of any such comments made, and I've yet to find a single evidence of any product, except for some of the antivirals, which add to the therapeutic impact. Okay? There's no treatment period. Okay? There's never a treatment for a virus ever, or will ever be. We will control them by producing appropriate immunity in time for the virus to attack. So none of these promoted elements have any value at all whatsoever. And then finally, I want to add to this that understanding what this virus has done to us here in US, there's only one piece of data I want you to look at, nothing else. What you see in the newspapers, number of cases found and so on, that is I call a moving target. The only thing that matters is how many people have died of COVID. So here in US, when we believe we have a lot of technology and all the tools at our hand, we have a 4% of the world population, 4%. And we have 25% of all deaths. There's no other data, none, that is more important than this comparison. I think we have done very poorly in controlling it. And I'm not putting a blame on a person or an entity this is how we are. People would not admit to isolation, they would not admit to wearing masks, they would not do things which are proper because they think this is all hoax. They think it conflicts with the release rights. And as a someone who looks at the endpoints, okay, maybe that's how the nature is supposed to act. Okay, maybe that's how they wanted to get rid of these people. Okay, who have no brains, but they're also causing a serious damage to our economy, serious damage to the mankind here in U.S. And it is a shame, okay, that a country like U.S. had to suffer 25% of all the deaths in the world so far, when we are only a small fraction of the world population. So that's an update. No vaccine, no drug, no claims. Antiviral drugs may help. Plasma replacement can be helpful, even though FDA gave an approval in a hurry. And I think I wish they had waited a little longer. But this is also not an approval by FDA. Keep in mind, a lot of people consider if FDA allows you to use something under emergency rule, it is not an approval. And that includes many diagnostic kits and other drugs that may be used. So FDA gave 2 days ago a clearance to use plasma from other patients. I don't think there is a much harm in there, but I think what it did, okay, however, it took away the patients or the subjects who could have participated in the study, which is where the truth lies. And now these studies that are going on don't have patients because the patients rather get the plasma, period. So this was perhaps a little too premature for FDA to do this. I don't know why they did that. I have a lot of confidence in FDA. I've worked with long years with them. This was not a very good decision on their part. So this is my COVID update. I just wish you that you will stay healthy, you will stay away from this bugger, and wait for my next COVID update when I will say, you're good to go, man.